Hey, what is up? This is your girl Martha D. Staub, owner of MDMC Entertainment, and welcome to what episode are we on? Episode 10 of season 2 of Business Building and Beyond. And today I'm going to talk about things you need to know before hiring a marketing agency. But before we get into that, I want to remind everybody that you can catch this show on all streaming major streaming services. We usually do the video live on, well, today is not a live show, but you can catch this video on Facebook and YouTube. And then the next day after we release this video, it's found on all the major streaming sites, including Pandora, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. So you can catch this on the go. If you don't want to sit here and look at me, it's totally fine. Whichever way you can support, it's perfectly fine. We accept all likes, comments, shares, everything. Doing all that is free. So please show your support. Let me think. Announcements? I really don't have any announcements. We still have merch on sale at the MDMC.com website. You can go to the merch section and pick up your MDMC shirts and also the development version of those shirts. Those are there as well. So grab some merch, show your support. We're really excited with just the work that we've been doing. We're crazy busy now that COVID is kind of over, in the extent that so many people have gotten vaccinated now. California is now officially open. So if you've been vaccinated, no masks. I never thought we'd see the day. I remember doing this show around this time last year and kind of just sitting here hoping that COVID would end, because we saw a lot of businesses kind of cave because of it. And it's kind of interesting to look at it now, one year ago, where we were and where we're headed. So it is truly interesting to see what a year has done. So, but now that everything seems to be full steam ahead, and I know because I've been going to LA almost every weekend, and traffic is insane. So things are slowly coming back to normal, and soon MDMC is going to hit the road. We have a lot of shows and a lot of things in the works. I cannot wait to share my traveling experiences with you guys and see the shows that we're headed to. Really excited. We have a lot of other things in the pipe that we will eventually announce soon, but we are very, very busy, which is one of the reasons why we are pre-recording today, because, well, now that offices are opening back up and things are opening back up, it's time for me to actually head back into some of my clients' offices and spend some time with them. I do routine check-ins, at least once a week. I go in and see clients. And, now that I have clients in San Diego and in the LA area, I do spend a lot of time with them that way. And soon, it looks like I'll be headed to Dallas here soon. Our client, Jennifer Marcus, who owns JP Fashion, she opened up another store. And if you guys have been following the MDMC story and who we've been working with and things like that, for those of you that don't know, Final Touch Jewelry was actually shut down because Jennifer's husband had passed away. So, that had to be shut down. That was all in his name and things like that. And so Jennifer really did like the idea of having jewelry. And she's like, you know what? I want to do it the way we should have really done it when Final Touch opened. And so she decided to open up Beau Diamante. And it's actually a funny story. We were talking about it one day, and I got on Canva and I created the logo for it. And she went off and gave that rendition to, I guess, professional logo makers that can turn it into vector files and graphic designers and things like that. And they tweaked it a little bit, but the font was only tweaked, but the diamond part was actually still the same. So it's kind of cool to see something that we designed go into boxes. It's on websites, it's everywhere. So it's actually really cool. So we're really excited for our client, Jennifer, and her new business, Bo Diamante. So if you want to go check that out, I'll put the link in the bio below. So let's get to today's topic. Now, some of my recent videos have been on things that I observe and I see. Sometimes I see them from a distance on the internet, or someone brings my attention to it. And so, yeah, I'm going to touch on this subject. And actually, this subject's been on the list since a year ago. I just haven't had the chance to really kind of dive into it because, so many things have been going on, and I really wanted to have a strong messaging behind it. So, yeah, that's where we are right now. The things that you should know before you hire a digital marketing agency. I have seen this time and time again, and maybe I saw this a lot when I was actually applying for jobs at digital marketing agencies before I got into my last job that only lasted 3 months, and then I decided I wanted to work for myself. A lot of agencies out there, and I'll never forget it because I really wanted this job, and it was in Carlsbad. It was for a Carlsbad agency by the beach. I really wanted to work there. I went in and I interviewed, and I did a really great job, talking about marketing and some of my experiences in the past. And one of the reasons why I didn't get the job was because I wasn't HubSpot certified. And the guy, I was like, I went into that knowing I slam dunked that interview. What happened? And he says, you're not certified. The girl that we picked is. And I said, really? A certification is the only thing that stands apart from what I can do? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. And I was like, this is bullshit. And so it got me thinking ever since then, because that actually, let me take you down my dark, dark path here. So when I was unemployed for 233 days, I toiled and applied at everything I possibly could because I was desperate. I was running out of money. I had unemployment is great, but it's not good enough to take care of everything. And so I was desperate to get a job. And, one of the things that I definitely couldn't afford was a certification. And so I started to think, why is it that HubSpot is so important? And they said, well, we use it with all of our clients. And I said, who uses HubSpot? I don't. I don't know. I've never really looked into the software, but it's supposed to do everything. And then it just got me thinking, there are a lot of agencies that actually become reps for software like HubSpot. And what they do is that anytime they are a digital marketing agency or an agency of whatever kind. But what they do is that they partner with software companies, and then which is smart with a software company, they get into these agencies and they're like, all right, sell this to whatever client and let's see what happens. And so whenever that client jumps aboard onto that agency, then that client is now paying an agency fee and probably a software fee to use whatever it is that they need. And so the digital marketing agency then now serves as technical support for the client. And so now the client is paying for whatever work that they do in-house and whatever the software does for them. It's a dicey situation to get into, because I know for sure a client doesn't want to pay 2 premiums. They don't want to pay twice for a service that they should be only paying for once. And in some cases, a lot of marketing agencies throw people into contracts, and then that client is there stuck as to all right, well, now I'm stuck paying both of these things. Is it worth it? I don't know. I feel like when you are a business owner and you know for a fact what you need. All right, I need social media content. I need this. I need that. I need email marketing. I need my website upgraded. I need, you have your laundry list of things that you need for marketing. Let me tell you something. A lot of digital marketing agencies out there, and do your due diligence. I can point out a bunch that don't know what the fuck they're doing in their business. Okay. But you need to have that conversation. It's almost like hiring someone in-house to have this conversation with you and be like, look, I need to know that you're going to do this work for me. And can you do this work? And so when you start hunting for an agency to start doing your marketing for you, have a list of things that you want as your grocery list of things that you really need for your business. And then also ask the following questions. You need to ask for a portfolio. Okay. A lot of people don't have portfolios. They don't have the proof to back up their work. I stress on portfolios. I have my portfolio. I update it all the time. I just, with every new client, I have to make the time to go back in and update it because you never know when another client is going to call and you're like, oh, well, here's my portfolio. It's great to have it handy. And it breaks down into versions of what you've done for that client. So it's imperative. It's super imperative to be able to show somebody that's willing to hire you to be like, yes, I've done all of this. I know about automations. I know about e-commerce. I know about this. I know about that. And to have it laid out in a fantastic way so that the client can flip through it, be like, yes, this is exactly what I need. Number one, ask for a portfolio. Okay. Number two, ask for previous or current clients that they have as references so that you can call them. I do this all the time. It's weird. I had one client that is with me now that she didn't want all that. She's like, I've seen enough. You have enough. You have enough social proof out there. I want to work with you. It's totally fine. That doesn't happen every day though. That was just a fluke. Or maybe not. Maybe they really did do their research and they really did see that I was a good fit for them. But that doesn't happen all the time. Have a list prepared. If you're the agency or the client, if you're the client, request a list of references. If you're the agency, get your list ready because I'm going to tell you now that I put this out there, people are going to ask for this. Have a list of your past clients, your current clients, the ones that you know you have a great relationship with, that you are comfortable telling them, hey, I'm going to have so-and-so, I'd like to have so-and-so contact you about my work. Would you be willing to give me a really good reference? I've done this for a colleague of mine who also owns an agency. I've done this for for other people that I've worked with in the past that I've had really good relationships with. And I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'll recommend you. And I'm like, I accept phone calls all the time and I refer people all the time. This is not an unknown sketchy practice. It should be, to be honest, that should be the first question. Like, can I talk to some of your clients? Hell yeah, you can. Let me give you a list. I have my list ready. I have it ready to go. If anyone ever has that, send it out. 2 or 3, we're on 3 now. 3, I would ask for, on top of that portfolio, I would like to see samples of how you make some of your content. Like, one of the things that I've done, because here's the thing, a lot of agencies outsource a lot of what they do. A lot of it isn't made in-house. A lot of people will hire somebody and be like, hey, this is the list of things I need. They'll outsource it to whoever, God knows who, someone that doesn't know the brand, who doesn't know anything about it, and they'll come back with a boatload of content. That's great, but is it really true to what the client wanted? And I get it. Some people are very, and I get it. It's a time saver, but yet it's not. In order to have true authenticity into what you are actually selling, probably do it yourself. Don't outsource that. I've had clients before ask me, hey, so all of this work, do you do it? Yes, I do. It's not outsourced. I make it myself. And they said, good, because the stuff that I've seen from you has a very specific thing that I love. And it's just so, it's almost like it's the MDMC touch, I call it. I want that in my business. Okay, perfect. I will do that. Yeah, I don't outsource content creation. I don't. I know it's a pain in the ass, agencies out there. I know it's a pain in the ass to sit there and create. Like I have a mountain full of content I still need to create that I've just been holding off because the mountain is really huge. I don't want to tackle it right now. But it has to be done in-house. Don't outsource that. Literally nothing. If you are a marketing agency, you should be doing everything in-house. And if you can't do it in-house, hire someone in-house so that you can guide them into doing that in-house. Don't outsource, okay? I get it. It's quick. It's easier to do certain things. Like some things like, like data retrieval or, something like that where you're mining or something. Yeah, sure. Outsource that. That's not a creative type of thing. Outsource technical shit. Totally fine. But when it comes to creating the pieces for a client, never outsource. Okay. So client, you ask if they make all the content themselves. They better say yes. If they say no, then that means they're not in touch with your brand and they only want your paycheck. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm on number 4. Number 4. Ask for personally, because you're having a dialogue with this person and with the owner. Ask them what their personal experience has been. What was their journey into marketing? Is this something that they've been doing for a long time? It's almost like a job interview you're doing for, someone that you're actually going to hire into your company. Treat it like an interview, because if you don't do that, you're going to miss crucial things. And the crucial things you're going to miss is you're going to realize that some of these people are probably not the best fit, that maybe they've just become a software salesman and they just want to sell you software in the form of a marketing agency. Make sure you have that personal dialogue back and forth as to who they really are, their journey into marketing, their personal successes that they've seen in the industry, things like that. Okay. Number 5, ask if there's a contract. A lot of digital marketing agencies will lock a client into a contract. MDMC does not do that. I have firmly stood on the belief that, yes, you need at least 3 months with me. Okay. Magic doesn't happen overnight, especially if you don't have a lot for your marketing budget, for your advertising. I have told people 3 months is a minimum that you need to be with me. I'm not making you do it, but I'm advising you to at least stay with me for 3 months, because in those 3 months, it takes times for the algorithms and everything to get into place, that the work that we are going to be doing is going to eventually fall through and actually work for you. And we need that time to establish a relationship and get to know each other and really figure out what your business will do for you and the marketing that goes with it. And I've always stressed that I never wanted to lock anyone into something they weren't ready for. Like someone told me, oh, you should lock them in for 6 months. 6 months is a lot. And I get it. For me personally, Martha, that's income that I can depend on for 6 months. Yes, that's where I probably should do contracts. But the reason I don't do it is because I want to build loyalty. I want to build loyalty with the person that I'm working with. I'm like, look, I understand this is a big undertaking. You're hiring someone you probably don't know, or you were referred, or in some cases, a lot of my cases, people know me already. That's why I've already have a long list of clients. Or I was referred by another colleague of mine. I want to build the trust with that client. If things are going great. We stay on until we can't stay on anymore. If they're not going great, all right, well, let's have a conversation about, what do you think? What is it that's not making you happy right now? What is it that we can fix? What is it your ultimate decision? And so obviously I'm going to try and keep people on for as long as I can. And so far everyone's stayed on for the most part. And sometimes, things happen like COVID where I dropped a client for a little bit. And the good thing about that was she was never on a contract. And I worked with her for at least 6 months, 6, 7, 8 months. She dropped off for about a year and she came back. And she's like, hey, I want to do this now. Let's do this, and this. And on top of that, I don't ask clients to do this, but some clients will pay 3 months in advance. She's like, all right, I need you for 3 months. I'm like, okay. And then the check comes in the mail or it comes through PayPal or whatever. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. I got 3 months with this client. Fantastic. I don't actually request people pay me in advance like that, but some clients do. They just want to get rid of it. They want to make sure that we're taken care of so they can do the other things in their business, which is great. But definitely have that conversation about contracts. The last thing I want people to do is get locked into a contract for a year and they're unhappy for a year and they have to pay for a year. I know you can break contracts, but it gets very messy. So, really do your due diligence. You really want people that are there for you and they don't see you as a paycheck. If an agency is wanting to take you on as a client, it's because they really love your story. They want to know more about you. They want to see you succeed, and they want to take you to the next level. And there has to be a genuine care for your brand in particular. I know I did this. I made content and I did all these things and I gave a client a price and I told her this is what I'll charge you. At the end of that month, and I've never done this before, but I did not feel satisfied with the work that I did. I was like, and I don't know if it's just because I'm hard on myself and everyone's going to say this is a bad business move, but look, I did not feel comfortable charging my client what I was going to charge her. And I said, look, the results are not good. Let me drop it down $100. And she's like, really? Everything looks fantastic. I said, no, it's not. It's not fantastic. And I'll show you why. And, I went through this stuff and she didn't agree with me, but I said, look, just not, I'm going to knock you down $100. We'll do better next month. And she was confused, but I just don't feel that I have to have integrity and I have to have a conscience. And I'm not like a lot of agencies out there that just want your money. If I'm going to be invested in you, I'm going to be invested in you, your brand, your entire being, because I want to see you succeed. A lot of clients out there, a lot of agencies out there don't care about your brand. They just want your money and they want to sell you the software that goes with it. Be careful with agencies like that. I know there's a lot in Southern California that do that. And not just in Southern California, everywhere. They're everywhere, but just be mindful. And one thing that you can really show as an indicator is if you go on a website that is for an agency, and you can use MDMC as an example because we don't sell software. We actually have all of our services, our clients, our merch, our stores, everything like that. I had to get testimonials here soon. It's already been about I've been in business for almost 2 years. Oh, wow. 2 years now? Wow. June, July, August, September. Yeah. In 5 months, it'll be 2 years. Holy shit. How that happened? I don't know how that happened, but look on our website. You'll see that we're not trying to sell you anything and things like that. When you go onto these other websites, you will see a pattern. You'll be like, oh, we can get you X amount of followers in 30 days. We can do this, we can do that. And you can buy our plan here for like $29.99 or $29.99 a month or, higher. And then the packages grow larger and larger. Then that'll be your red flag when you look on the website and see that. You're like, oh, okay, well, one, this company is just a company that is a front for a software company, or they're an agency, or an agency that works with a software company that the software company is actually getting a kickback from. Then 2, you know that they're not doing all the work in-house. Allegedly the software will do it for you, which is bullshit. Don't do that. Really have these conversations. It's like hiring a person on staff in-house. You need to have those same conversations the way you do in interviews than you do when you hire somebody, because it's crucial. It's super important, because you're literally giving your brand to somebody and you want to make sure that they're going to take care of it. And you need to have those conversations. You have to really, poke around and be like, are you really going to do this work? Do you really care about who I am and my brand? That's the important thing. You can't go and do it. And literally, I couldn't, it scares me to death if I was to give my company to somebody. I'm like, here's my baby. Make sure you take care of it. And they're like, sure, but pay us first, and then pay us for the next 3 months, and then, do no work. Be very, very careful. It's just driving me crazy how much I see people and business owners that I just had this recently with a current client of mine. We were in a meeting, and the owner was saying how bad of an experience he had with a previous agency. And they were paying this much amount of money and, this and that. And they got 0 results. And so now he's like, well, now I'm a little worried, because now we've got, this, and this. And I'm like, well, we're producing. We're producing, and your past agency wasn't. That's the difference. And he was like, yeah, you're right. Things are good, and I said, there you go. So, you have to have people that really care about your business, that want to see you thrive, that are just not after your money. And I know that's really hard in a day and age like this, because I see it a lot on Instagram. I see it everywhere. And it's just like, I want to wrap people in a protective bubble that are brand new business owners like myself, 2 years ago, that, you're walking into this and you just want to expand your business and you're terrified, but you have to pick someone, because that's just an area of your business that you don't have time for. And in that case, just the way you would interview an employee is the way you should interview an agency that's going to take care of your brand, because at the end of the day, it's your brand, it's your livelihood, and you want someone that actually cares and that is going to put in the work and that earns every penny of that paycheck that they're getting. I go through that every day. It's almost on the flip side of it, from an owner's perspective, business, an agency's perspective, I think about every day that goes by that I put in a work day. Okay. And typically my work days are Monday through Friday. I try to take a weekend off, as we'll get to stress and things later in another episode. But, I sit here and at the end of the day, when I close this laptop, I'm like, did I do everything for everybody? Did I earn my keep today? Because in the retrospect of things, clients can come and go at any day. And that's probably my fault, because I didn't put them in contracts. But, you have to earn what you keep, and you have to earn what you earn. And every day that I do this, it always makes me wonder, am I doing everything I possibly can for this client? I didn't. Just like I had with that one client. I said, I can't take your full amount this month. It's just not worth it. And the fact that she disagreed was really sweet. But for me personally, it just wasn't there for me. And, you got to do right, and you got to do well among your clients, and you can't take them on this crazy ride and promise them things that you just can't promise. I think the first red flag, and I say this about SEO companies too, especially if you're looking for an SEO company, if they tell you you can be on the first page of Google in 30 days, they're bullshit. That doesn't take that. It's not that quick. SEO takes 3 to 6 months before you can get on the first page of Google. Maybe 3 is cutting it a little short, but 6 months for sure. And the same with social media. I can't stand how there are agencies out there that can say, I can earn you 1,000 new followers a month on your social media. That's bullshit. I can get you all these testimonials. Yeah, you probably could with an email marketing campaign, but just the fact that they have to put a number next to their promise, it's a bunch of empty promises, and you can't go by that. And it's enticing as hell. I'm like, oh hell yeah, 1,000 followers a month, sure, who wouldn't take that deal? But it's not that easy, and if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So just be very, very careful out there, people. All you new entrepreneurs out there, it's a interesting world out there. So be careful on who you select to manage your brand. And I'm just going to slide myself into this conversation right here. If you want a free quote, and you want to talk to me about it, and you don't want to get locked in a contract, talk to me. I'll totally give you the straightforward. I myself, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in public relations, and I mastered in sports administration and public relations. And when I moved to San Diego, marketing agencies were the only ones I can get in with. And that's where my path to marketing led. And from there, I went into a corporation, well, not a corporation, but a small family-owned business, and I helped them earn with my marketing tactics with the help of my team. That job, I think well over $5 to $10 million worth of revenue. I think I counted it the other day, it was like $30 million worth of revenue that I've helped companies achieve with marketing tactics. So, boom. I will give you an entire portfolio if you want to hit me up. But I think that is it. I just want to warn, I just see so many, especially after COVID, so many new entrepreneurs that just want to go out there and do their thing, and they need the help. And just be careful. Be careful what you're paying for. Ask every single question under the moon. If they get annoyed by it, then something funky is going on in there. Looks a little sus. So just be careful out there. All right, guys, that's it for me. I wanted to thank you all for joining me on this episode. Again, sorry it's not a live show, but we are back in business, going out and seeing people and getting out there. And, I filmed a lot of other content that's going to go on this channel because I've been behind on it because I've been so swamped with clients and things that I want to keep the channel going. But man, with COVID, COVID was a nice little cushion for us to create content and do things. But man, it's busting outside. Everyone is out and about. Business is booming. Things are good. And I'm very happy. So we will continue doing it until we are tired of doing it. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the things that help this video go up, and follow our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn. And also, next day, you can listen to us on all major streaming services like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, or just Apple in general. Pandora, we're everywhere. Everywhere that you listen to a podcast, more than likely you're going to hear us there. So thank you all so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next episode. Talk to you later.